Hello, beautiful ones. Let's talk about the energy coming up for June 2025. Now, this specifically is an update for the way showers, light workers, luminaries, healers, people that I call being on the new earth transition team. I want to talk about the energy that's coming up and, more importantly, how we can navigate it best and what themes to focus on. I'm Casey, if we haven't met, and I love to support people in really mastering their soul gifts, making more money with their magic so that they can be in the frequency of abundance and share and co-create this whole new reality that we're making on Earth. And I recently have stopped trying to speak to everybody. I have decided that I'm going to speak to people who have a resonance with me. So I don't have to do any convincing. I don't have to do any pushing. I don't have to over explain myself. If you found your way here and you have a resonance with the idea that we are going through a massive transition right now on the planet and you came to help with that, welcome. You are in the right space. And I just want to thank you for being part of it because, gosh, it's chaos. It's not easy because you came here to be the living embodiment of the change first. So you've been doing all this personal work and professional development, and you have gone through it. I know it has been hell on earth. And also, I know that you have codes in you that you're here to share. And most of you that are listening to me are professionals in some way, but that doesn't mean everybody is making a living with their light work. So many of us are really here to anchor in the future through the open heart and share these codes of magic with the world. And yeah, I really just am so grateful that we get to have these ways of connecting, because I don't know about you, but I was planted into a family that didn't really get me. I felt very alone, and that old adage of like star seeds are planted in the dirt all alone and everything like that, and they have to like grow through the soil, through the darkness to see the light. That was the vibe we had. I don't know, it was a black sheep or psychedelic sheep of the family, the weird one, the wild one. Like, most of us have stories like this. And also, that was the old paradigm. You didn't fit in with all of the other people as you were never designed to, because why would you want to fit in with a system and a society that isn't supposed to be the thing that continues in the future? You're here to bring in those new future codes. So, you were destined to stand out because you didn't want to fit into that old, sick paradigm. That is not what you came here for. So I want to really honor the journey you've been on. And I know you've always felt different, and nobody here is more special than anybody else, but there are only a select group, and I don't like the name like chosen ones and all of that. None of that feels good to me. But a group of people who are consciously aware that we are transitioning the planet out of the old and into the new right now. If that is you, I just want to say, first off, we're doing it. It's happening. We're really in it. And that's the icky, disgusting, chaotic part. We're in the pangs of the new world being birthed, but the old one dying at the same time. Circle of life. It's crazy. But when I feel into the energy, there's also so much magic. Some of the divine, cosmic, galactic, and earth-based frequencies that are coming in from the sun, that are being emitted from Gaia, that are being shared by the hearts of all of the people who've been doing the work, those frequencies are so much more divine than anything that, I have felt up until now. It just keeps getting better and better and better. We're remembering more of a multidimensionality. It is ecstatic and blissful, and there's so many people who are being turned on. I'm not talking about the ones who are being awakened now. I am talking about groups of healers and light workers and people that are coming into my world who are literally ready to be turned on by these divine energies, working with Gaia, life force energy, passion, pleasure. The reclamation of our sensuality and sexuality are really big themes that are coming up for June and beyond, but they've been here for a while. So this wild ecstatic reclamation of our power, of our abundance, of our magic, all of these are coming in big time. And that is a really lovely counterpoint to the freaking pain and the shadow work and all of the healing that we've done. The thing is, though, the healing is not where we are supposed to stay. And a lot of us are at this bridge point now where we're moving from doing all of the healing and clearing, and we have to walk over the bridge into pleasure, conscious creation, living a life that is so freaking amazing and full of reciprocity and support and abundance, living in your soul purpose, in your dharma, and being rewarded for the work that you've done. Like, it is time. Yet at the same time, the world is going through all of this massive physical and geopolitical upheaval, and there's more control and pressure and fights and wars. And it's like, how can all of this be coexisting? Yeah, the polarity is absolutely wild. So I am going to share with you some of the themes to focus on to support yourself through this. I'm also going to acknowledge that June is a solstice month, meaning that it is very sacred and holy, and there is an opportunity to connect with your highest self and download the frequencies and the new codes about what you are here to do, what your next level mission is. And I'll extend an invitation at the end for you to join me in really connecting to that next level soul calling. I have spent so many solstices receiving the next level codex of what it is that I'm here to bring onto this planet. So I want to invite you to create more space for that, because more clarity is going to be coming through for you. I know a lot of us have been purging for the last few months and yes, years, right? Like last 6 years, maybe since 2012, even if you've been consciously on this path, but we've been releasing and letting go of everything that's not aligned anymore, that can't come with us. And so there's this energy of new that's wanting to come through, that's ready to come through for you. So every month I take a psychic look at what is coming through energetically. And I used to also then go into the astrology. I've been recently guided to drop the astrology and go more into the intuitive piece, still working with the elements though. And I'm going to pull some cards from my elemental deck. But when I looked psychically and I was like, show me June, what is coming up in June? I just saw this like wall of golden light. And it was so freaking bright that like my third eye was squinting and I was like, oh my gosh, wow. Like, whew, that's intense. It was beautiful, but like it was so bright. And behind the wall was all of this division, all of this fighting and scarcity. It was the dog eat dog, like war, pain, suffering, and very, very intense and unpleasant and make my heart like rip in two. That was there. There was also just pure chaos in that field. In front of the wall was pure potential. It was like this like white energy of like, you know, when you're, they're showing a movie about heaven, they'll be like, this is like white light, this like, kind of angelic field. This white was unwritten potential. It was pure potential, pure unwritten like energy of we could do anything with this. It was a frequency though and vibes of divine connection, of that interconnectedness, interdependence, coherence, integrity, but there wasn't really anything built up in it yet. It was just like that white field until my eyes adjusted a little bit from that like blinding golden wall. And then I saw like a golden buildings, I guess they were. There was like a house, and then there was somewhere it was like just the foundation was being laid and some different structures. And then also like some people were working on architectural plans, like blueprints. So there wasn't much built there yet, but there was some stuff. And the people that were working on it, like there weren't that many of them, but they were there. It when I'm feeling into and decoding what this looked like, it was like, honestly, most people were not there yet. Most people were on the other side of the wall. And also, there was this whole place where, honestly, the unified field and that divine heart connection was just the essence of that space. And so as I'm tuning into this, it was like, okay, not everybody is there yet. But those of us that are able to tune into this place, this frequency of divine co-creation, coherence, and all of that, the unity consciousness field, we're needing to really get to work, right? And build, create the plans, and also like start digging or building what it is that we want to see in this new world. And the golden wall was there to literally separate us from that. There was so much illumination in this other frequency field that was just like, it was clear, it was divine, it was beautiful, but there was also the illumination of what we don't want to play in anymore. And that separation was very, very like tangible. Like you don't have to look at it. You don't have to see it. It was almost like being redirected with our focus and our energy. So I want to go through the 5 elements that represent creation here on Earth, because the unified field has to be brought from the quantum etheric spiritual realm into form with these 5 elements. The earth, air, fire, water, spirit represent the physical, the emotional, the mental realms, the action realm, and also the spirituals, like the etheric, the realm of essence. We need all 5 of those to be working, and we need to have a focus on what we need to get rid of in them, and then also what we need to like do on purpose in those realms. So I'm going to give us at least one, if not more, kind of expressions of this that are coming through. And so the first one that I pulled before I got on here was from Spirit. It's a life purpose card. I know that's backwards. I don't like mirroring it, but the life purpose was just like sharing with me, like, this is what we came for. Beautiful souls on the transition team. It's this now. And so many of us are just like annoyed at having to be here and having to live through this when like it's literally the time that we've been waiting for, even though it's chaotic, even though it's crazy. We cannot lose sight of that. Like, you came here to be the change, and what you do is less important than who you be. Your life purpose is about your frequency. Your life purpose, yes, it's about your dharma and the work that you do, but your beingness, you're learning to live in this new realm, this frequency of divine connection and coherence and abundance, and this space where the golden houses are being built. That is your purpose, and the rest is just gravy. However you physicalize it is up to you, and I think it's really key, because a lot of people are getting lost in the sauce about the details, right? They're like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Focus on your beingness first. Focus on the frequencies you are embodying, and then the doing is going to come from that place. If you are building from that energy, then it is going to flow a little better. It's about this is from the air realm, the mental realm. It's about your vibration or your frequency, especially when we were looking at these 2 different realities, right? So your frequency is oscillating at one that can access these higher realms. When we are in suffering, trauma, pain, all of those things, we put up these shields that disconnect us from the divine and from everything else, and it keeps us stuck in the old paradigm. So all of this work that you are doing needs to be frequency first. Whatever you are doing, you need to focus on how you are feeling and how you are being and what you're focused on, what your thoughts are about. Are you looking at the problems, or are you looking at the possibilities? This is so key for June. The illumination of what it is you want to see is just so key. the way we get there, actually, interestingly, wanted to come through with fire, and there's going to be a little bit from earth and water as well about the how. So the first piece from fire is actually about altered states. And I'm not saying go do ayahuasca in the jungle. It is actually much less appropriate than it was back in like the 90s and 2000s and other times on earth to be altering your state physically through like plant medicines and things, but through your breath, through meditation, through coming to work with me and Gaia, and she's the plant medicine mommy where you don't need to ingest anything, but she can just like shift your state of consciousness for you into the frequency bandwidth of brain waves that allows you access to the quantum, access to the infinite possibilities, access to your sub and super conscious mind. I would like to invite you to play more with that. Come into the frequencies where your brain waves are actually, they slow down and you can connect with the all that is and you can feel it. Like that is some magic secret sauce. This is where in my modality and in all of my, membership, mentorship, mastermind places, my practitioner pathway, we're teaching people to access information without going into ingesting stuff, but like to get there without that, so you can pull through from these shamanic realms, from these other places, what it is, the frequencies that you're here to like be, and then all of the things you're supposed to do. I love helping people channel their highest self or their future self and bring that into form. Speaking of which, Earth, the physical realm, is actually coming with a message that like we can't ignore the structure and form. The structure and form, the templates of creation, the rhythms, the routines, and the literal structures that we are using in our life are so essential right now to make sure we can hold all of this intangible golden divine essence, because we're here to make that non-physical energy and transcend it into physical matter. So not transcend it, but like bring it into form. And so the structure and form is going to help hold you. One of the ways that can come through is learning how to do certain things, like access these altered state of consciousness to connect, but then bring it down back through like, okay, I've got these codes about the dreams, about the visions, about the what I'm here to do with the world, how I'm going to serve. How do we actualize that? How can we actually get those pieces and start to really make it happen with the step-by-step? Without some kind of structure, then it's too much flow, it's too loosey-goosey, and let's just say the masters of the physical tend to be hanging out in that old reality, the old paradigm. The light workers, the healers, the interdimensional, multidimensional baddies, the ninjas, the alchemists, the people that are here on the transition team tend to reject structure and form, when in fact it is the thing that helps us create on Gaia here now. So we gotta get comfy with it. We gotta merge it. It's gotta be physical and energetic. It's all of it. It's this divine union of the masculine and feminine, the active, the receptive. It is the oneness of everything instead of prioritizing only the etheric, only the magical. We got to make it tangible and practical if we want to actually create the world that we are dreaming of, right? Those blueprints, the architectural plans, the foundations, all of that stuff is so essential. So if you are not currently comfortable with that, it is important to learn, to get mentorship. You can come into my spaces, you can get guidance from other people that you might resonate with in a different way, but it is here to hold you, and we got to get really comfy with the structure and form instead of like disassociating into the etheric dimensions that we're so much more comfortable in, okay? It has to be the both and also. So how do we do that? How can we create? How can we, there's all of these steps, but there's also a level of this letting go that needs to happen of the how. And so water, the emotional realm, wanted to bring forward the card of surrender. The card of surrender is like, you gotta not hold on to it so tightly, okay? Yes, we need to put in effort, but we also need to relax. the both and also yin yang energies are coming through so strongly. So like literally the surrender and the structure and form card seem like diametrical opposites, but they are working together to say like we need both of those things. You can't just be like, I let it go, it's up to the divine timing, I'll manifest it if it's meant to be. Like, you can't just do that. You also need to go and you need to like make the space, create the space to co-create with the divine, to co-create with your highest self and make things happen for you. Like, not forcing them, but creating the opportunities, putting in the resources you need, learning, growing, failing, fucking it up, and then doing it again, and not holding on to it so tightly that you're like, it has to be like this, but to have that level of surrender that you are in co-creation with the divine and you're not supposed to control it all the time. But it's all of it, right? It's all of it. So that illumination that's coming up and the separation is leading us into divine union, where the all flows together and opposites at the other end of the spectrum actually come together, and you see it's two sides of the same coin. So with all of this being said, June is going to be a really intense month energetically. I foresee the sun popping off, more solar flares. Anytime there's like an illumination, like big golden light that comes in, I do see more solar activity that month. But it's also the illumination of our divine hearts that are showing us what it is that we desire, what it is that we're here to do, what it is we need to let go of, what we need to focus on. And if you would like someone to hold space for you through those processes, I have a couple different spaces that I can invite you into where I can share the structure and form and also the flow with you. I have these templates where we unify all of the different active and receptive, masculine and feminine, yin, yang, structure and form and flow, surrender kind of energies. So the first space is called the calling, and it is for you to come into ceremony with me and Gaia to connect with your highest self, your business oversoul, and your next level calling. Because most of us have been prepped for something new. We've got new mission parameters that are coming in, and I would like to give you an opportunity to sit in that sacred space, to receive what you need, and then receive support, integration, identity shifts, belief repatterning, or whatever you need for the integration and implementation of what's coming through for you. So the calling is a 1-week intensive starting on June 2nd, and you have lifetime access, but the active coaching component is just for 1 week. It starts at $33, and I would love to have you there. If you were looking for some more ongoing mentorship and a deeper dive into the magic, my membership, the Abundant AF Lightworker, blends both the strategy and systematology with the energetics and the magical. So magical and practical, tangible action pieces with also the activation pieces. And I'll leave the link for those two spaces to come in if it feels aligned. If you are not looking at a paid program right now, but you would like to tune in deeper to some of these pieces, I would love to invite you into my free frequency upgrade academy, where I share some of my most potent and favorite magical tools for free in bite-sized lessons. It's about an hour's worth of teaching, including my sparkle field activation, which will help you reunite in your heart the divine feminine and masculine, the earth and cosmic energies, support your toroidal field in flowing and then amplifying the frequency so you can be in this energy of the frequency of abundance, of co-creation, of the divine flowing through you, so you're emanating that. It's fabulous for manifestation, creation, no longer getting energy vampired, just feeling better and feeling this divine flow. So I have all those links beside. If you feel like you know somebody who needs this message, please make sure that you pass it along to them, because June, it is going to be intense, but it's also going to be a lot of fun. So I really want to highlight that Like, the illumination is not just illuminating the shit, but also illuminating the gorgeous frequencies that we do have available to us now. You might be oscillating between the old and the new, and that's okay too. Don't feel like you're failing, but I really want to invite you to really look at where you're focusing. Are you focusing on the problems, or are you focusing on being part of the solution? Are you focusing on the frequency of all of what used to be, or are you tuning into the possibility? Let's have more fucking fun with it, right? I love you so much. I'm sending you so much love. Let's talk soon.